Hello everyone, I'm Keith with Automotive Aesthetics. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I clean a really dirty wheel on this 2025 Civic Type R. This one's got a lot of brake dust and grime built up on the wheel face, all over the red caliper, and on the tire too. So I'm going to go through it step by step, clean each area safely, and show you how I break all of that contamination down without making the process more complicated than it needs to be. So sit back and enjoy the show. Today, I'm going to be using DIY Details Iron Remover. I'm spraying it on pretty liberally, making sure to get the wheel face, inside the barrels, and all around the caliper so I have full coverage anywhere brake dust and iron contamination can build up. You'll also notice the rotor starts turning purple almost immediately, and that's completely normal. That happens because the rotor is bare metal, so the product reacts very quickly here. As the iron remover starts working, you'll see that purple reaction show up across the wheel too, and that's exactly what you want, because it means it's breaking down the contamination. It's always recommended to do this in the shade when possible so the product doesn't dry too quickly. And if you're using another brand, follow the label directions. At this point, I'm just going to let it dwell for a bit before moving on to the next step. Next, I'm going in with DIY Details All Clean Diluted 15:1 with a little bit of DIY Detail Incredible Suds in the foamer. I'm spraying that over the wheel and tire to help the iron remover stay wet longer so it can keep dwelling and working. At the same time, the All Clean starts breaking down the road grime, grit, and buildup on the tire and wheel before I move on. Next, I rinse thoroughly. After rinsing, I come back in with more foam as part of the foam rinse foam method. This is where that process really starts to pay off. That first round helps loosen and remove a lot of the heavier contamination, and now the second round lets me go back in and clean the wheel with a much safer starting point. At this stage, there's less loose grit sitting on the surface, which is important because anytime you're doing a contact cleaning, you want to reduce the chance of dragging contamination across the wheel as much as possible. So here, I'm refoaming the wheel and tire, and now I'm going in with the DIY Detail Wheel and Body Brush to clean the tire and the wheel face. This brush works well here because it gives me good coverage across the face of the wheel, helps me work that cleaner into the tire, and makes it super easy to get around the lug nuts without needing another tool. That helps break down the remaining grime, old dressing, and road film that's still hanging on. You'll notice I'm cleaning the wheel face before I move into the barrel, and there's a reason for that. I don't want to go into the barrel first, pick up any leftover grit or heavier contamination from inside there, and then come back to the face of the wheel afterward. If I did that, I'd risk bringing that grit back onto the face and grinding it into the finish while I'm cleaning. After that, I'm going in with a boar's hair detailing brush to clean the caliper really well. That brush is great for getting into the tighter areas around the caliper so I can safely work out the remaining brake dust and grime without being too aggressive. Once the face, tire, and caliper are cleaned, then I move to the barrel brush so I can get down inside the wheel and clean the inner barrel. That area holds a lot of brake dust and buildup, and it's easy to miss if you're not taking the time to get all the way in there. So here I'm working that brush through the barrel to make sure I'm cleaning the areas you don't always notice at a quick glance, but definitely matter when you want the wheel fully cleaned. Next, I rinse everything thoroughly. That rinse is important because I want to flush out the loosened contamination, the remaining product, and anything that's been pulled out during agitation. And that's really the goal with this whole process. You're not just throwing product at the wheel and hoping for the best. Now I'm using Quick Beads for protection. It's a water-activated spray and rinse ceramic sealant that's super easy to use. It works great on black wheels and really any wheels because the graphene helps cut down on water spotting. And with this stuff, less is more. You don't need to over-apply it to get solid protection. I spray it onto the face, into the barrel, and around the caliper to make sure I get full coverage. Then I let it dwell for about 30 seconds, and when I rinse it off, I start from the bottom and work my way up to help spread the product evenly across the wheel. And here's the final result. You can see the water beating up on the wheel right away, and that's exactly what you want to see after adding protection. It shows the surface is ready to shed water a lot better and stay cleaner easier. Then, once the wheel is dried off, you can really see how everything came together. The wheel face is cleaned up, the caliper looks great, the barrel is cleaned out, and the tire shine gives it that nice final touch without overdoing it. Everything just looks clean and finished. Here are all the chemicals I used for this wheel cleaning process. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep having fun keeping your ride clean.